Bitcoin is flashing a major sell signal that I want to cover in today's video. We also have a short-term trading strategy where it says Bitcoin is going to come back to $110,000 per coin. We also see that Trump is going to make a huge announcement today addressing the recent market crash. I also want to cover exactly where we are in this crypto bull cycle, what's happening with the extreme fear and greed indicator. Bitcoin finally just dipped to the 50 EMA. Could this be a support zone? Because I want to be covering in today's video, going over the cycles from all-time high to all-time lows, plus potentially the Bitcoin top is not in, as Michael Saylor's liquidation level is at $74,000. Don't forget to smash the like and subscribe. First piece of information I do want to cover here is on the long-term chart of Bitcoin. Now, I have these two blue lines on the chart, and what they represent is the Bitcoin halving. Now, what I want to do is actually use the measuring tool from when the Bitcoin halving happened until the top of the bull run. Now, this is on the weekly chart, and we can see it was a total of 78 bars or 78 weeks from when the halving happened until we topped at around that $60,000 in Bitcoin. I want to do the same thing again. So that was in the previous cycle. Let's do the same thing in the most recent cycle. So we had the halving event at around the 20th of April. And then let's measure from the 20th of April to the current highs around 75 days. So we can see that there is a bit of a trade setup where it's showing that once the halving event happens, around 75 to 80 weeks from that point, shows where previous cycle highs are actually topping. So we're coming right into that cycle topping zone, and could actually be the reason why we're having this major sell-off. A lot of institutions, a lot of retail traders are now expecting the end of that complete 4-year cycle. But something I do want to cover here is in the short-term chart for hourly, actually this is on the daily, we definitely have a strong symmetrical triangle where we definitely got a strong breakout below. We had the downtrending EMA and we broke out at the apex. But right here, the most common trading strategy to now play off of this formation is to trade back in this apex zone. So what we're now expecting is price to begin to rise from around 100,000 to 110,000. Reach back at this apex zone where the two converging lines of the triangle meet, and then we will get a short-term continuation to the downside. So right now, I'm currently playing Bitcoin short-term to the long, looking to reach around this 109 to 110,000 area. And then again, I'll look for a short-term decline. But that doesn't mean that I am expecting the entire bull run to be over. One thing I want to cover as well is Trump is actually looking to make a huge announcement today at 1 p.m. So we are expecting later today Trump to come out and address the overall markets, potentially tell us exactly what is happening. We also see right here, this is a common chart that actually goes through the contraction and expansion of global cycles. The end of the cycle, always euphoria, thrill. And right here, if we actually overlay the current Bitcoin chart on our current contraction expansion chart, it looks like we've passed the euphoria phase. We're coming into complacency and potentially anxiety. A lot of margin calls are happening. A lot of people are getting liquidated. Plus, when we overview the entire market, out of 100, we're sitting at 21. We're sitting at extreme fear. And in the past, every time we have flashed extreme fear, it's always been a great buying opportunity. And every time we flash extreme greed, that's always been a selling opportunity. Bitcoin has also just dipped to the 50-week moving average. This is an extremely common, simple moving average line. A lot of institutions, a lot of algorithms, a lot of traders are using this 50 simple moving average. Actually makes sense why we bounced. And also we have a lot of confluence, like obviously the $100,000 region for Bitcoin is going to act as that large round number. And we're having at least a small jump to the upside from there. Did Reddit nail the top 2 years ahead of time? Here, All-time low to all-time high was 1,064 days. All-time low to all-time high from 2018 to 2021 was 1,064 days. And now when we reach, so the all-time low in 2022, and then we extend that out, we do exactly 1,064 days into the future. This pattern would print the cycle's all-time high on the 6th of October. And that's basically exactly what's happened. We printed a cycle high right at the end of September. And here, this particular indicator predicting on the 6th of October. So it was off by a week and extremely accurate when we're measuring from all-time lows to all-time highs. And then again, from all-time lows to all-time highs, just basically expanding out that 4-year Bitcoin cycle very consistently. We're having 300 days to the downside and over 1,000 days to the upside. And if we've already reached that 1,000 days, it just makes a lot of sense to at least be getting out a portion of our position. Plus, Bitcoin's top is not in. Hear me out. Each Bitcoin bull run market ends with explosive monthly candles. In 2011, we had huge 100% gains. 2013, 50 to 400% gains. 2017, plus 50, plus 50. 2021, we had 30% gains. And now in 2025, I really haven't seen any. So we jump over to the monthly candle. And that's definitely expected. Usually what we have in is we call a large exhaustion bar near the end. We get a large amount of euphoria, the most amount of buyers coming into the market. And that actually then sets us up perfectly for the bull run. But that definitely hasn't happened. We've basically been trading in a form of a trading range for the last 3, 4, 5 months. Definitely haven't had that sort of explosive move to the upside. What they're predicting is more of a move like this, where we get 3 strong monthly bars to the upside. And that actually creates the exhaustion, creates a lot of euphoria, gets a lot of retail, a lot of institutions into the market before we then make that flush. So definitely actually predicting 2025, we're only seeing small candles of 2%, 8%, -6. When you see 2 back-to-back 30% plus monthly candles, that's your final parabolic wave. Be patient. The big moves come after violent drop when everyone almost gives up. And it's definitely true because we've had some quite violent declines during just even this year. Obviously, during 2024, we had a massive decline into the 50K region before we pumped to over 100K. Even here, we had a lot of tariff news with Trump and a lot of scares. We jumped down to 75K before nearly doubling in price. So a lot of the times, as explained, when we're having these huge liquidation events, huge moves to the downside, a lot of people getting scared, they're fumbling their hands. These are always times to look for accumulation events for continued moves to the upside. Now, something not a lot of people cover is Michael Saylor's liquidation is actually at $74,000. So that's only around a 25% drop from here. Person in the comments also makes a great point. He owns the Bitcoin. The only thing that could force the liquidation would be clients requesting their money. Since he's not leveraged on his position, he only owns spot Bitcoin. So if he only owns spot Bitcoin, he's not leveraged. There is no liquidation position. Liquidation happens when Bitcoin goes to zero if you're not trading using leverage and you're only trading using spot. So 74K is his average cost basis. Below that, he goes from unrealized gains to unrealized loss. So exactly this comment points it out exactly. Since he has no plans to sell, this is a ridiculous post because as much as sure, if the price does come to his liquidation level, nothing's going to happen. He's going to be from multiple hundreds of millions in profit to then going to an unrealized loss of whatever that number may be. So he'll never get liquidated. The only way for Michael Saylor to get liquidated would be for his clients to then want to sell their position. So them saying, hey, I gave you 100 Bitcoin. I now want you to sell that 100 Bitcoin and give me the money back. That's going to be that liquidation event because he then has to go into the market, sell some of those coins to then pay back the investors who have invested in his company. So makes a lot of sense. Loving the current news. I'm still quite bullish on the overall price action of Bitcoin. If you have enjoyed today's video, don't forget to smash the like and subscribe. Check out all the links in the video description. Leave a comment on where you believe this bull run cycle top will be. What price do you believe it's already in? Leave a comment and I'll see you in the next video.